Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel TARS World. So today we are going to do grade 6 science chapter 1, which is food. Where does it come from? So let's begin. So in this video we are going to do two topics, which is food variety and food materials and sources. And in the next upcoming video we are going to do plant parts and animal products as food and what do animals eat. So let's start with food variety. Okay, every day you require different variety dishes, right? You can't eat the same dish every day. It'll make you boring, right? So different foods are known as variety. So let's see why variety is very important. Okay, so let's take an example. So assume you're eating pizza for one whole week. At one point of time, you'll feel boring of pizza, right? And let me tell you, if you don't feel boring also, it's unhealthy for you. It'll only give you the nutrients which is there in pizza. And it will not make you a balanced diet. So we can conclude that variety in food makes eating fun and healthy. We cannot feel boring of eating the same dish, right? And we should have a balanced diet. We should get all the nutrients, right? So a variety in food makes eating fun and healthy. So let's talk about ingredients. Ingredients are materials needed to prepare a dish. So ingredients are some materials needed to prepare a dish. To prepare a dish, you require some materials, right? So those materials are known as ingredients. So let's see an example. So let's take an example of burger. To prepare burger, we need bun, onion, cucumber, tomato, cheese, and non-vegetarian people may use chicken and another bun. So to prepare burger, we need 6 ingredients, right? So the materials we need to prepare a dish are known as ingredients. So let's see what are common ingredients. There are many food items, preparation of which require common ingredients. So let's take an example. So to prepare rasgulla, we need milk, sugar and cardamom. And to prepare kheer, we need milk, sugar, cardamom and rice. So the common ingredients are milk, sugar and cardamom because these are common in rasgulla and kheer, right? So you can see milk is used in rasgulla and kheer and sugar, cardamom are used in rasgulla and kheer. So this is common in these two dishes, right? So we call it as common ingredients. So this is known as common ingredients. So let's begin with food materials and sources. So let's see what are sources. Sources are materials which ingredients come from. So where did those onions and those vegetables came from? Obviously from plants, right? So the source is plants. And the two main sources are plants and animals. So where did the ingredients come from? Those are called as sources. So I gave you an example, right? The onions come from plants. So the source is plants. So and another example can be eggs, right? Eggs come from animals. So the source is animals. So there are two obvious sources of food, which is plants and animals. So in plants we have fruits, vegetables, nuts and grains. So these are examples of obvious sources of plants. So these many people eat, right? So we call it as obvious sources of plants. These are common, so we call it as obvious. And these come from plants, right? So we call it as obvious sources of plants. So the other obvious sources is animals. So in animals we have meat, fish, eggs and milk. So these are common, right, in animal sources. Many people will eat this. So we call it as obvious sources of animals. So the two major obvious sources are plants and animals. So the example of animal sources are meat, fish, eggs and milk. So let's see non-obvious sources. So we have obvious sources and non-obvious sources, and under obvious sources we have plants and animals. So in non-obvious sources we have seaweeds, insects and red ants. So these are not very common, right? So we call it as non-obvious sources, which is non-common. Many people will not eat these. So seaweeds are crispy in salads, and the insects are crunchy as fried, and red ants are tangy in chutneys. So these are some examples of non-obvious sources. So these are some animals which give us milk. So there are around 6 animals which give us milk. So we have cow, goat, camel, buffalo, sheep and donkey. These give us milk. And cow is majority. Majority people drink cow's milk. So cow is majority. And camel is in desert, right? So desert people will drink camel's milk. So let's answer this table. Name the ingredients used to prepare the food items and their sources. So let's take an example. Idli. To prepare idli, we need rice, urad dal, salt and water. So rice comes from plants, right? So the source is plants, and urad dal also comes from plants. So we call it as the source. We call it as plants. And salt, water come from nature. Salt and water come from nature, right? So the source can be nature. And let's take another example of chicken curry. To prepare chicken curry, we need chicken, spices, oil and ghee and water. So chicken comes from animals. So the source is animals. And spices come from plants. And a good example of spices can be chili. So chili comes from plants. So the spices also come from plants, right? So the source is plants. And oil comes from plants. So the source is plants. And ghee comes from animals. So the source is plants. And as I told, water is from nature. So the source can be nature. And milk comes from plants, as I give many examples of animals which give us milk, right? So milk's sources are animals. And rice comes from plants. So the source is plants. And sugar comes from sugar cane. So sugar cane is a plant, right? So the source can be plants. So let's understand these questions. So different foods are called as. So as I told in the beginning of this video, I told that different foods are called as variety. And I told variety in food makes eating fun and healthy. So different foods are known as variety. What does variety makes in eating? So variety makes fun and healthy. You should not feel boring of eating the same dish every day, right? So I gave an example of pizza. You should not feel boring every day eating pizza, right? So variety in food makes eating fun. It will make you fun eating variety dishes, right? And we should have a balanced diet. So variety in food makes eating fun and healthy. So what are ingredients? Ingredients are materials needed to prepare a dish. So I gave an example of burger, right? To prepare burger we needed 7 ingredients, right? So ingredients are some materials. So to prepare any dish we need some materials, and those materials are known as ingredients. What are the ingredients to prepare a burger? So to prepare burger we need bun, onion, cucumber, tomato, cheese, and non-vegetarian people may use chicken and another bun. So to prepare burger we need 6 ingredients. So these are also some materials to prepare burger or any other dish. So these are known as ingredients, and these are the ingredients to prepare burger. So here is a homework question for you all. So let's read this question. Give some examples for non-obvious sources of food and give examples of animals which give us milk. I told many animals which give us milk, right? And I gave some examples too. And some examples I gave for non-obvious sources of food, right? So this answer, you should answer it in comment section below. And the person which answers the correct answer, I'll pin their message on the top. That's it for this video. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching this video.